I was wondering, guys. Hi, everyone. I was wondering, I'm like, why does it still look dark even with my camera on? And I was trying to figure it out. And I have a little latch that you use to cover your camera, and I couldn't figure out that I had that on. I think, yeah, I'm tired. I'm very, very tired today. Um, Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. We spent the weekend, I guess it's the opposite of spring cleaning. I don't know, fall purging. Let's call it fall purging. Um, oh man, we were just yeah, we were getting rid of a bunch of stuff. Because now it's cold. New York City is officially freezing. So cold now. Um, it's chilly. It's chilly when it's in the 50s. That's low for me. It's low for the plants and it's low for me. Uh, so I was kind of clearing out all of my summer dresses and stuff and putting in all of the sweaters, and in the process kind of getting rid of summer clothes that I'm not gonna wear. But oh my gosh. So that took me into the night. Um, but we got that whole closet purged. So it does feel good. It does feel good, but holy moly, tired. I was really excited too. So I am working on those lists that we had discussed um a few sessions back about um different types of like recommended books that have to do with plants, recommended um what's it called? Like yeah, like TV shows, books, movies, things like that. So I am working on those. So I want to share with everyone. But one of those, and I think I did mention it back a few weeks ago, but they finally released the show. So only the first three episodes. So I made sure to watch those yesterday as well. Um, of the Apothecary Diaries. So it's a Japanese manga. Um, and I have the first issue. The rest I've been reading digitally. But the first volume I do have on hard copy. And I am in love. I'm in love with this manga, and I went nuts when I realized that they were going to have a TV show. So I have been counting down, that there's going to be in October, almost end of October, that that they were going to be releasing the show, an anime, so the an animated version of the manga, and it's very good. It's currently on Crunchyroll, and yeah, love it so far. And it follows a girl she was working as an apprentice as an apothecary, so basically as an herbalist. And then she got kidnapped while collecting herbs for her father and sold as a servant. So they would kidnap young women and sell them to the palace, and then they would be the one that would get the income. So any income she would generate, that the palace would kind of automatically send it to her family, and the kidnappers would pretend to be their family, and then they, they would put them to work as like maids, but they would be making their income. So uh, it becomes known that she knows her way around medicinal plants and specifically poison. And this comes into play because she's very, very knowledgeable about plants and plant identification and how to use them. So I fell in love when I was reading this. And so now that it's actually a TV show and it's beautifully animated, I kind of lost my marbles there. It was like totally fangirling. Um, but yeah, if anyone here is interested in like Japanese media, you might you might like that. Um, but yeah, so I was having a moment yesterday while we were cleaning. Um, yeah, I was watching, having enjoying my show, enjoying my new show. Yeah, I hope everybody else Had a really cool Sunday. What is wrong with you? Jules is our cat is having the zoomies, and so he's literally running from the kitchen all the way into the bathroom and then running back. Oh, Deanna, so good day, everyone from Orlando. Yes. Oh, just perfect weather. Oh, I'm very jealous. Very jealous. Um, oh no, Adeline, you keep getting stuck. So I guess I'm on the right Wi-Fi. Huh. Holly, can you put these videos for free on Amazon Prime? I don't know. I didn't know I could do that. Oh, I will look into that. That's cool. I didn't know that I could do that. Um, oh, thank you, Adeline. Yeah, no, I had no idea. Maple, not you two. Calm down, boys. And oh no, Holly, you're taking antibiotics. I'm so sorry. Sourdough bread. That's something I really want to learn how to make. Is sourdough bread. I know that you have to it's like you have to keep the dough, right? You have to keep like the starter alive or something. You have to take care of the starter with sourdough bread, isn't it? That folks get like a starter and then you kind of have to take care of that. Um, oh man, yeah. No, I've never made bread myself, and I've always wanted. I like sourdough bread. Oh, I made orange marmalade with apples, ginger, and burdock root. I love that you used burdock root. Oh, that's great. That's absolutely great. By us, it's we're in fall. So those of you that might not know burdock, so burdock in the fall, so it's a biennial, so it's a second year growth. It puts out flowers during throughout the summer, and then towards the end of the summer, and then eventually into the fall. Usually the leaves start to die back, and what's left are these burrs. So um, they're very sticky. I'm actually, hold on. Let me let me move. I'm gonna go grab my box of doodads to show you. I have a little box. Here we go. And I think I have some in here. This is my box of things. There's like seed pods. Um there's also these because I want to do a whole thing on the weird things that people put on plants. There was even one I have to find. I don't think it's in this box. There was even one where it's something folks were picking for cacti. So people put um fake flowers, fake flowers on cacti. So this is a rubber one. This is rubber. And then these are actually dried flowers. I'm forgetting what they're called, but there is a specific hay flowers or something like that. But basically these are completely dry. They're painted. And then what happens is that actually when they're in drier environments, they might open, or when it's really humid, uh, these these flowers, even though they're dry, they're not alive, they kind of like cinch back. It's a reaction to the environment. Um, and so people put these on cacti to simulate as if they're real flowers, but they're putting it with hot glue. And so here's another one. I have a couple of these, but look at the hot glue, and they're putting them on the cacti. Um, so I have a couple of these that I saved. But back to the burdock. Do. I know I have. Ah, there it is. I know I have it in here. Here we go. So burdock burrs. So see, they're very sticky. They have if I can hook it to myself a little bit. If my hands are a little too moisturized. today, so they're not sticking. But so these, the very tip, they actually have like a little hook. And so these have the seeds inside of them, and they'll stick to your clothes, and they'll stick to your shoes, your pet's hair as you're walking your dog, and essentially this is how they disperse their seeds. So it's really neat. But burdock root is amazing. I love fresh burdock root. I also like dried burdock root made into a tea. So wonderful. Um, Thank you. Yes, Holly says that I'd be good at sourdough because you think like a scientist. Yes. Oh, yes. And burdock does indeed have a lot of different names. And I think like the Japanese name is it gobu? I think it's gobu. Gubo? No, I think it's gobu. Might be gobu. But I've seen, oh my gosh, some of the craziest um burdock roots I've ever seen have been at like Japanese shops, and they're like 6 feet tall. So they're huge. And they sell them like as one section. And yeah, it's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Um yes, oh yeah, definitely. Hold on one second. You scared me. Oh my gosh, sorry. Maple. Our cat Maple has a habit of eating his kibble, so Brian had filled up their bowls. Um, and he has a habit of eating his kibble really fast. And so he looked like he made himself sick. I don't know if anyone here has cats or dogs that eat really fast. And so I he was making a weird sound, so I started panicking, but it's because he ate his kibble too fast. I have to get them one of those bowls for slow feeding. So it has like different grooves, and so the cats kind of have to like eat kibble couple at a time instead of just shoving their face in and doing that. Um, but yes, Holly, yes, definitely. Oh wow, and you get comfrey and yarrow as well. Oh, that's great. Hey, if you can use the yard, definitely. Um, hell yeah. If you'd like to grow that, absolutely. Um, yeah, with comfrey too, a great way to start comfrey is by getting um the root divisions. And so if you actually sometimes on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, you'll actually see that folks are selling the root section. And so you're able to start up your comfrey rather easily than by seed. It takes a little longer by seed, but it goes quick with the root divisions. Hey, you can do some guerrilla gardening. So kind of, uh, purposely planting some comfrey. Hi, Maple. Buddy, I can't hold you right now. Oh my gosh, hold on. Buddy, oh, I can't hold you right now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to put you down. Hold on. Oh, oh, there we go. I'm sorry, honey. I can't do this right now. Oh, I know. You don't feel well. Well, you ate your kibble like you were racing or something. Oh, you're on the 13th floor. Are you able to do like those window what are they called? Oh my gosh. Sorry, the word escaped me. Um it's not pots. But basically it's like a window garden. There you go. Oh, you're not allowed? Uh I would say, or hey, if you have a local if you happen to have a local community garden, um if there's any community garden in your neighborhood, sometimes you can ask if you're able to, um, you know, plant certain things there, even if it's for the community, but that yeah, that you're able to go and harvest. Sometimes that works. Sometimes they will let you also do. There's like a certain practice called grow a row, and they'll let someone grow a row of like medicinal plants or something like that at their local community garden. So fingers crossed. But yes, definitely status of the date palm. Let me let me unmute you. Ah man, I'm sad to hear that about Chicago. Here we go. I'm asked to unmute. Oh, here we go. There we go. Oh no! And it just got more of those long weird things and then oh man,
No
that is
more day. No more. It turned yellow and oh wow, it's two new ones growing. I just saw that. Yeah, this thing took over. And I don't even know what it is. But I do have a box. If you have a post office box I can send this to, you can watch it because maybe you'll discover what it is. But for
yes.
me, you know what? It's living, so I don't want to throw it in the garbage. But I have no idea. What if an animal jumped out the middle or something?
It's like aliens attack.
Yeah, Elliot. Because the only thing that this I found on it is that it's an ancient plant. That's the and it that came from Crime Pays, but botany doesn't. Like he went somewhere talking to some botanist that knows history, and that's the only place where I saw this plant, anything like it. So it's supposed to be an ancient plant. It could be anything. It could be anything. I don't know what it is. It might be an alien.
Yes, I'll send you the address because
Okay,
I'm very curious. I'm very curious.
I gotta find uh got this box. I don't know if this box is big enough. I don't know. I don't know how to put these things in the box.
I think if you can kind of slightly bend them and kind of put them around.
Oh yeah, they're not too flimsy. Yeah, okay, then I will try that because it should fit in that box. And I have a lot of this stuff like that. I don't know. Um, but it should be safe with this stuff in there to protect it from bouncing around. So
Yes. Oh yeah. Definitely anything like newspaper, even like plastic, bubble wrap, anything that'll kind of keep it, give it some cushion, that would
yeah.
definitely work. Yeah, and they're pretty resilient for shipping.
Well,
So
I can't wait to see what you find out about it because I mean, I'm not, just like I said, you're scientific, you've been in botany. I studied stuff, but my memory is not that good. Like I can forget what I just read 2 minutes ago. I'm just not I'm scientific, but I'm not like you, like detail oriented. No, I can't. I never have been that detail oriented.
No, I mean, I'm excited for a mystery always. And so
Yeah,
I'll definitely try to see, if it's
I hope
is
it
it
lives a long time so you can really get into it. I mean,
yes.
enjoy
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
cause I don't know, is it a hitchhiker? Is it a plant parasite? Is it the palm itself and it's some type of growth that we're seeing? I don't know. So yeah, taking a closer in-person look, that would definitely be helpful to try to figure that out. Gabby, at quick glance, I thought it was a pussy willow. Yes. Um, it definitely it has that look. It definitely has that look to it. Maple, hi, buddy. Hello. Oh, I love you too, honey. But I can't do this right now. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate it though. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to hold on. Okay, buddy. I love you too. I love you too. But I have to do this. I have to do. Oh, thank you. Oh, I love you too. Oh, he's the sweetest. But hold on. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. Just give me a moment. Let's see. Oh man, what else did I have in here? Um,
Maple, it is Monday.
yes, exactly. Maple, it is Monday. What are these? Oh yeah. Gosh, yeah, I have a bunch of stuff in here. Um, I have this avocado seed that did not make it. It absolutely did not make it. Um, but it dried out. So I saw I didn't make it. I cut it back and I was like, oh, this poor thing. And then I completely forgot about it. And it completely dried and it perfectly dried in its propagation tube. And I was able to pull it out and you could see the entire root system and it's rounded because of the propagation tube. And it just looks so cool and it's completely like dried out and I thought this would be a cool thing to show students. So I it's literally this box is like a box of just odd things like that. But yeah, so this avocado seed I thought just looked so cool because you could just see how the first root came out, it kind of established itself. You see the main root, and then how that main root split into smaller roots, and then those roots split into smaller roots. You can really see that. And yeah, the primary roots, the secondary roots, tertiary roots. I just ended up thinking like this would be neat. Um,
Yeah, the roots look like a brain.
they really do, right? Um, they definitely have that look. I also have some ash tree seeds. So there's a bunch of things in here, all different types of seeds. I have like mushrooms. Um, but let me see something else. Oh, does anyone here like 4 o'clocks? You know those flowers, 4 o'clocks? I loved collecting them as a kid because they have these seeds, but they look like little grenades. You see how they have like a little thing on the top, uh, and it's like bulbous, but comes to a tip, but then the top here. So when I was little, I used to collect these because of my brothers, and so we would play. That they were.
Tornadoes.
I have a bunch of these. I actually want to plant those. Um, and then what else is in there? Oh yeah. So if anyone is familiar with princess tree, so this is an invasive tree here in the US, and they get these really gorgeous leaves. It looks very similar to catalpa trees. And yeah, I had dried out one of their flowers, very tubular kind of flower. It's a beautiful lavender color, but as it dried, it's turned yellow. But it kept the shape kept pretty well. And the smell is, oh, it's intoxicating. It's so nice. But I love drying these. I have a couple in here that are actually dried pitchers from Nepenthes, so the carnivorous plant. I have some that I was able to dry. I like this like 3D type of drying, um, because it keeps its shape. So a lot of the plants that I dry, I have to put them in books, and so that they get flattened. So it kind of takes away from that shape.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I love when I'm able to dry things more 3D, because it's just like
Cool.
a little, right? It's just like a little sneak peek as to what it actually looked like when it was fresh. So I definitely like this. And here is actually I have a section of a princess pea, princess and the pea. No, the princess tree um seed pod, and there's actually seeds in here. As you can see, they're very feathery. There's a bunch, so there's a lot of seeds. So all those little, you see these little dots, each one is a seed, and it's surrounded by like this papery white sheath. And what happens is that this pod is like a two-part pod, so it opens up, and these are very light, and so they get just picked up by the wind, and they just disappear. And when you see the size of these trees and the size of this seed, like this seed is literally like, I think it's even smaller than like one of the smaller ants that I can that I'll see here in New York City, and yet this grows into this massive tree with these crazy leaves. So it's definitely, yeah, it's very cool to see. Very cool to see. But yeah, I just have that. Oh, and then my voodoo lilies. I have an amorphalis, yeah, and it's growing steadily, but it's still just like up. So last year it bloomed for me in December. So I'm not sure why. I was doing more research with amorphalis, and I saw that a lot of folks like they're active right now. And so I don't know why it decided that it's gonna be growing in the fall. So I'm really not sure. A lot of people like it's growing in their greenhouses and stuff. So I'm really not sure why mine decided to do that. But second year in a row that it's starting at that time. So I don't know if is it because it kind of got started last year really late, and so now it's just like the cycle. So I'll see. I mean I have it right up in a uh last year I kept it behind me with a grow light. This year I kept it at the west window with my Stephania. And so I have no idea. But it bloomed last year in December, and I had dried out the flower. So
Uh-huh.
this is the lily, the Amorphalis lily that it gave me. Uh super cool. And a really long stalk. Like it was like super long, and with this really beautiful flower. So I'm kind of hoping that this year it'll give me leaves. Um,
Looks like a peace lily.
it does. They're in the same family.
Ah,
So they're in the same family. Um, but with these, I'm trying to see if maybe I'm gonna hold on. I can show you what it is. Here we go. So it's an amorphalis, I believe amorphalis. Um, and it's is it Virides? There we go. There we go. So mine is very small. I picked up because they're very expensive. So I had grabbed one that is tiny. Um and still that little thing that's this big costs $75. Um and yeah, so see, it's supposed to, so 1 year it gives you a flower. So so if you can see it, 1 year it gives you a flower, and then when it dies back, and then usually the next year it gives you leaves.
Mm.
And so you get these. So since last year it gave me a little flower, I'm I'm hoping this year what I'm seeing growing right now is gonna open up and actually give me leaves. Because the leaves are really neat. They're very cool. They kind of remind me very much of the philodendron goldii. Hold on here. Well, it's no longer a philodendron because they actually reclassified it to Thematophyllum. I think it's now Thematophyllum sprucianum. Um, but it was Goldii. There we go. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Whoops. There we go. Yep, Thematophyllum sprucianum. So it has been reclassified, folks. So if you have a philodendron goldii, it is no longer technically a philodendron. It's in the same family, but it is now a thematophyllum. But these leaves, the structure is very, very similar uh, to the amorphalis. You see, it kind of has this. It's like a ring of leaves. So they kind of come out from the petiole, and then they kind of create like a curve, and then the leaves grow. And technically, that whole little ring here is considered one leaf. And those little sections, those little leaves are called leaflets. So that is considered one leaf. Um, so it is technically a compound leaf, but it's such an odd type of shape. And for me, guys, odd plants are where it's at for me. So so anytime I see kind of this weird growth, I'm obsessed. So yeah, I'm really keeping my fingers crossed, because if the standard kind of lore that I'm hearing about a lot of these the amorphalis buds, bulbs, that it's supposed to be 1 year flower, 1 year leaf. So I'll keep you guys updated. Right now, it's still literally just pushing out growth. So it looks like a horn, and that's all I'm seeing. So I can't see if it's a leaf, it's a flower. I can't see yet. So I'm hoping that it is ends up being um a stem for flowers. I'm sorry, a stem for leaves rather than a stem with a flower. And it would be one singular flower if it does. So last year gave me a flower. Yes, Suzanne says I'm the queen of odd. Yes. And Diana, that is really great. Yes, if I've ever tried to paint my samplings in their original color, I have not. That would be very interesting. I have a couple of these, for instance, of these Nepenthes, and see how I really like that they were able to keep that kind of I think this is the best one though. Hold on, let me. Ha 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 ha.
Oh,
It's a
let's
big one.
see.
Right? And
Yeah.
it really kept its shape. I think this is by far like my favorite one. Um, I would be interested. I could totally paint them. Um, yeah, I'd have to do something that's not water based, because I wouldn't want to rehydrate them in a way that would cause them to start to rot. Um, so I'll look, maybe some type of oil base or acrylic. Acrylic might work.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
just would not be able to add kind of like water to them. Unless now the thinking cap is on. I'm thinking if I should maybe first apply like Mod Podge. If anybody here does crafting, so it's kind of like a sealant. So it's available where you can kind of paint it on. I also have it as a spray. So I'm wondering if I should seal it first, like completely seal it so that it's there's nothing is actually going to um affect the actual material anymore, because this is what's ended up being left is kind of like, yeah. Uh-huh.
You got me muted. Do you have me muted?
No.
Oh, okay. No, that I think you could just do it with some of that acrylic that they use for
Yeah.
shirts. Like if you want to print on, you want to paint cloth because it's fine enough to let the pores, whatever they're doing, and it gives it support. It just give it support so it doesn't crush.
Okay.
So yeah, that a hodgepodge is more like flour and water, like a paste. It's just plain old flour and water. So whatever happens to flour, it's more crumbly. It doesn't
Okay.
have oil in it. Acrylic has a oil in it already. So it's more like it is similar to rubber, but not rubber. But anyway,
No, that's a great suggestion, seriously, because now that's in my head now, so I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna have to try
It'd be
that.
fun to experiment with it. You have a new canvas, a new type of canvas now, Jocelyn.
You
Yes.
But
you
it's
can
I
paint
dry
it like a
material.
vase. You can paint it
Yeah.
like a vase from Costa Rica or whatever. You know,
Oh, I
so
mean, there's so many things. Yeah, like I'm actually hoping that this fall, I'm able to get out to, um, I need to get back out to like Forest Park, and they have these gorgeous, and in parts of Central Park too, there's gorgeous magnolias. So if anyone here has ever seen magnolia leaves, I think I actually have one, or maybe two, that I actually got from that I saved from my trip to New Orleans. Um, and I want to see if I can collect a couple of those this fall, because we do have a couple here in the city. Um, Here we go. And this one, this one didn't last. I mean, gosh, this is 2017, so uh, it lasted as long as it could last, but it ended up breaking. So I do want to reattach that, but this is the magnolia leaf. So see that gloss? So they
I
have
love magnolias.
it's very beautiful, and when they dry, it's like you can hear that. It's like a canvas. And it's very glossy. And I've seen people actually paint on these. And then so I definitely want to try that. I'm very sad that it ended up breaking. Um, but I'm gonna try to see if I can glue it back on. Um,
It would be good as a mixed media art project where you can put it on a canvas or something and then, make a bigger picture with using that. Like, you know how they do with you take uh, either a piece of a magazine and then they put some glue on it or Mod Podge on it, and then they adhere it to the canvas and then they paint around it. So that would be good to use because you got two pieces, whereas it would be easier to keep it together if it's on a surface, and yeah, you could paint a picture, put that on top of there, and let that be the subject or whatever. Who knows?
no, absolutely. Oh hell yeah. No, that's definitely, because I would like to keep this specific leaf especially, and if I can do something fun with it, um, and yeah, and make some art with it. Um, I definitely I need to pick up my brushes. It's been a while, so I was hoping to do that this winter. So I used to paint a lot when I was younger. Did a lot of sketches and like still life stuff. And but you know, you grow up and then work.
I
And then
have faith in you because I saw your mother's art when you went to show us all that stuff. Your mother got so many ideas. I was like, wow, you know. So I'm sure you got the same thing, same qualities. I
me
see
too.
them. This
That's
thing right here
Scindapsus.
is a philodendron, right?
Oh, it's a
Okay.
Scindapsus. It's
I love this because it stands up. I,
yes.
I do not like these ones that lay down and I gotta find some place to put all those leaves. I wish I had a box. I'll send you all of them.
I mean, it will eventually start to vine though. So those are vines. So right now, yes, it's
Oh,
very happily standing up there, but just forewarned. So like I have mine, I have a couple Scindapsus. I love Scindapsus, but like see it
oh, yeah,
eventually starts to vine
yeah.
downward. They eventually get
Well,
heavier, and so they
mm,
start to grow down. But
um,
they will start like that. So like here's my Scindapsus hero. So this is a silver hero. So it has
yeah, I
only
got one of
silver,
those and it's
right?
all over the place. It's
They're
everywhere.
beautiful. They're so beautiful. But yes, see, they'll start off that way, but then eventually it'll keep growing, and then it will eventually become a vine.
I guess because the leaves are so big, it looks like it's going to be different than the other ones. Um,
I mean, it might if you keep trimming it, if you keep trimming it and kind of shaping it that way, you
oh,
could potentially keep it that way. So if it does start producing like an offshoot, and you're like, no, I don't want this. I want to keep it small and compact. You could snip it, and then you could put that. If you snip it under the node, you can go ahead and pop that into water. But then instead of kind of allowing it to start to kind of grow, and then gravity will start to weigh it down. So if you want to keep it like that, you definitely can for as long as you can make it work. I would say to try.
this is
Oh
yeah. I don't know why these what you call it bamboo lucky bamboo. I would like to have a bamboo that really grows real tall so I can sit the thing on the floor, but I don't know if it's possible in an apartment. And this is what keeps happening. This is the third one I took out of there. Do you?
yes, so those are actually Dracaena. So they're actually Dracaenas, but they are sold as lucky bamboo. But they're actually not even bamboo. But
Right.
one that you can actually grow in person that is looks like bamboo, but it's not really bamboo, is it's a Camiodora. I think it's a palm, it's a type of palm, but it's called a bamboo palm. And I think it's a bamboo palm. It's a Camiodora. I remember it. Cameo. There we go. Yeah, that's a weird spelling. Sorry. So I think I remembered it phonetically. Totally did not remember how to spell that. But here we go. Um, so it ends up growing and has this look of bamboo. I'm trying to see if there's a close up of the actual stems. And so the stems look like that. So they have that segmented look to them. Um, but I wouldn't recommend getting it as a little thing like this. I would recommend getting it already as um, like a bigger plant. You're gonna want to get it when it's already a taller plant. Let me see here. I'm trying to see a good one of the stalk. Let me see if it'll show it. But it ends up very much having this look. Let's see if this would even kind of kind of shows it. Um, there you go. you get this kind of banding and segmentation. It's very kind of gives you that look of bamboo. Um, but it's much
Uh,
more forgiving. And it's in soil. And so with these guys, they are very, very forgiving. So um, if your home tends to dry, get dry pretty quickly, um, you can water them like once a week. Just give them a really good watering. You just want to make sure that they dry out between waterings, but they're great and they're also non-toxic. So if you have any pets or anything, you don't have to worry about that. But if you want that look of like bamboo, especially with the tall stalks, because as they grow taller, they will stop putting out leaves at the base, unless it's a new like pup. But otherwise, it just becomes these really tall stalks that really give you that look of bamboo. Um, so I really like these. So the bamboo palm, and it's technically again, it's not really bamboo. It just looks like bamboo. That one that you have there, is that hmm, is that a parlor palm? I can't tell if it's a Caniadora.
it just started growing like from a real small little plant, and then next thing I know, it kind of like looked like it was falling apart. I stuck all those other pieces back in the dirt, and they kept growing, all the parts that came off. And then now I have more than one plant. At first, it was like all together, like maybe the pictures you had looked like one, looked like it came out of one stalk. And now all the little stalks are in different places. Uh,
That's amazing though. Oh man. And you have a new leaf growing too, I can see on top. There's
yeah,
a
keep
yeah,
getting,
'cause they
yeah, yeah. I
oh
love it.
see
This is what I really like, like bushy kind of plants that are, I don't know, it just has more leaves or something like that, that you kind of feel more independent. Like, I don't have to really worry about you.
yes, and exactly, and that's how that Camiadora is. That might actually be another species of Camiadora already. So you might already have a
Uh,
type. But yes, if you find one of those, but at a larger size. So I would not recommend, a lot of people buy Majesty palms. Majesty palms, they're very finicky. They really would prefer to be outside. If you live somewhere like Florida, sure, a Majesty palm would definitely work for you. Um, but if you're living in a colder climate, like a place that gets a very like crazy winter, and especially apartment living, Majesty palms just aren't they aren't happy. They won't be happy. And I think they cost like $50 now for like a pot. And so it ends up being very wasteful. So if you end up wanting to get a palm, try Camiadoras. Like the Camiadoras, they do well in apartment living. So I think
yeah,
that actually might be another species of Camiadora. I think parlor palms are also a species of Camiadora. And parlor palms are the little ones that you tend to see them sell in stores, and they usually are super tiny, and they sell them, and it's really hard. I've tried with them at that size, and it's been difficult. I think for me, I like plants that like to dry out, but they don't.
me
So
too.
yeah.
I don't like spider plants because they don't react good around me. It's like I don't have enough moisture, and I have to do. If you have to change the way you live in order for it to fit in a plant or a dog or a cat, I can't do that.
Yeah, same, exactly. I'm sorry, you gotta try to live in our environment and how
Just
how we yeah, and
or
it's
give me some kind of signal to
yes,
tell me what you need. Okay.
exactly. Exactly. No, no, absolutely. I totally feel you there. Like even with like my Baltic blue, this you know, I don't have to water it every week. I can water it like every other week, which is great. And it'll be perfect. But when it's thirsty, this thing looks like it's dying. Like it just goes from one day looking like this, and then the next day it's like very much like a peace lily. It's
Yeah, that's what
very
I was gonna say.
dramatic. Yes, it's
Oh,
like you need that visual cue. And so this does that kind of dramatic faint from
my
one day to another, and then I'll be like, oh gosh, give it a really good bottom watering, and then within 24 hours, it's back to being
my
really
peace
pretty.
lily, my peace lily is on a metamorphosis because I got them at my mother and father's funeral 4 years ago. I mean, and they were, when you get them at a funeral, they're big, fluffy plants. They lived like that for a long time. And then I got tired of them because the leaves were getting too big and it was looking over whatever. And I just cut them all down. So now it's real finicky. It's like, do I want to grow some more or do I just want to sit here like this? So I just talk to it and tell it, you got to fend for yourself. Let me know if you need help.
Yeah, and
So
I mean, I've seen, yeah, and for folks that are like, oh wait, you can do that with peace lilies. You can actually chop them down. So I've seen a lot of peace lilies sometimes that they get spider mites, or if all the leaves, like let's say they get burned by the cold or even the heat, you can chop them. Basically, you don't want to completely pull them out, but you kind of give them a haircut.
yeah,
Um, and they
haircut.
will, and you just keep taking care of them, and they'll come back for you. They'll definitely come back for you. But thank you, Holly. Thank you. Oh man, I've been thinking about giving peace lilies another try. So I'm thinking because I started seeing that they're selling more peace lilies in water. So they're selling them kind of like in that hydroponic system already. So I've been kind of eyeing them. So I might get one just to try. Because yeah, peace lilies, I've had peace lilies for years. Um, but I always end up accidentally letting them dry out eventually. Even ones that I've had for years. It's just like that one weekend trip, or it's just one thing that ends up throwing them off kilter, and then I can't bring them back. Like I just can't. I can't make them happy again. Um, it's them. What other plants have I had like that?
I have my peace lily.
Oh, you have your
So
peace lily. Hold on.
it's about 4 feet by 4 feet.
Wow.
And it's been in water and perlite for 10 years now.
Look at it.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
And I got
I might pull the trigger and try to just get one that's
yeah,
hydroponic.
there we go. I got this cactus.
Oh,
It's just a tiny little thing.
oh,
And
that's cool.
I got this thing. How do we get the lid on it? Okay, there we go. See that? It's a succulent, I think.
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to see, maybe it's some type of Haworthia. Um,
I don't know. Yeah. So anyways, that's my excitement last week.
that is so neat. No, seriously. I love, oh man. Yeah, like those
I
old man type of cacti that have a lot of fluff to them. I love those.
I had one that was, I think, 3 feet tall, and then my cat knocked it over. I had it for like 15 years.
Oh
And the worst part is the day before, I thought, I should move that plant before the cats knock it over. Because I realized it was top heavy now. So I thought, but
no.
anyways.
Oh man. And it always does happen that way. That has literally happened with plants here where they're doing really well, and I'll literally say to Brian, that looks really, it's getting, you know, really big. Maybe that's not the best spot for it with the cats, right? Like maybe that's just like an accident waiting to happen. And then it'll be like a couple days later, and that's the day that the cast decided that they're gonna hop up there and tip it over. It totally does happen that way. Like, oh man. Oh, Deanna, I just emailed you a picture of a ZZ plant. Um, ooh. Let's see what is happening. Um, bum, 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 bum. Hmm? Oh, it logged me out. 1 second. There we go. Here we go. Ooh. So yes, with the ZZs, so that light growth you're seeing, that's definitely a new leaf, but that base, that might be a flower. That might be a flower. I'm just gonna show folks. Here we go. So that is definitely the new leaf coming in. I really loved how ZZs, how they put out that new growth. It's like super, super light and really flimsy. And then it kind of straightens out, starts to darken and harden, gets really, really beautiful. But this little thing might indeed be a flower. It looks kind of odd. It looks kind of odd. And I believe they are in the aroid family.
Yeah,
So it might be a
I was
space.
reading that that a flower would be extremely rare on this type of a ZZ. So I really
Ooh.
didn't know. I thought that this was unusual looking. I had never seen that before, and I thought, well, maybe I have a rare plant, you know?
Yeah, because yeah, so you see they do indeed
Oh,
flower.
there's a flower. Wow.
And so and that kind of has that look of what you have. So they definitely do. So here, so see, this kind of looks like what you have in your picture. Um, so maybe it hasn't opened yet, still developing, but you see how in your picture it's like it has like that little bulb, it's like a little ball, and then it kind of grows from there, from
Right,
what I could
right.
see. So it could very well be a flower.
Isn't that
Um,
something? I'll
so
continue to monitor it,
yes,
Jocelyn.
please.
Yeah, it's growing really well. It's growing fast, actually. So I just got this. My sister sent this to me for my birthday on Saturday. So I was so happy to get it. So I'll keep it. Yeah, I'll keep you posted on
Yes,
its growth, and if it ever does
please.
bloom. Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
because I think that shape is what is telling me that that could very well be a flower. Because so so folks, so see how it has like a bulb, it's like a little, it gets like bulbous, and then
Yeah,
so that could be one. That could
yeah.
be one.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
so
good
cool.
feeling.
Funny.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
thank
so, so
you.
cool. Yeah, you're
Oh, yeah.
welcome. Yeah, it's oh man, I love it. I love it when houseplants flower, because it's very common to see, you know, plants flowering like in greenhouse conditions, in nursery conditions. But I love it. I love it when especially like apartment living and stuff where we can get our plants to flower, and I'm like, yeah. It's awesome. Synth, yes, it's a ZZ plant. Um, it's it's Zamia culcus zamifera. That's they call them ZZs because it's easier. But hold on, ZZ plant, uh, the scientific name. Zamioculcas zamifolia. There we go. Zamioculcas zamifolia.
Wow.
It's yeah.
Well, no wonder
ZZ.
it's easy.
Yes, I'm gonna drop that in the chat since so
Oh, there
that
you
you
go.
see that.
Oh.
But it's definitely easier, yes, as ZZ. But yeah, Zamioculcas zamifolia. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh, but I love them. They're so great, and I'm so happy to see this plant kind of having its own little renaissance. ZZ plants have been around forever. I grew up with my mom keeping ZZ plants. Like a ZZ plant was my first plant when I moved out. Like ZZ plants, they're tried and true. Always like a great house plant, kind of like a house plant staple, really. Um, and it's just so nuts to see now that there's so many, like in the last, like gosh, what less than 10 years, we have like the Zenzi. The I have one I've had for a couple years now. I think I got it in 2020, and it's the Zenzi. So this one is a compact, very tiny ZZ. It's a dwarf ZZ,
Oh.
and it stays this big, and it's given me so much growth. So I've gotten 3 new stocks. So like that's a new stock, that's a new stock, and then this is a new stock. Started with these two, and then there was a little one that didn't do well, but then it just pushed out all that growth. And so
Nice.
this $11, and it's a miniature. It's literally it stays very compact, a very small type of ZZ. It's a great like desk plant because it's not gonna go crazy. But you still get that look of ZZ, that really beautiful glossy leaf. Um, but it stays at a manageable size. Um, and but I've seen so Zenzi started to come out. Then oh here we go. Then the Raven. So this is that Raven I was saying. Uh Gorgeous. Look at that. Um, this is the one that arrived completely frozen, where the top was dead. The top was literal jelly. So I had cut it back, and this is actually where I had cut it back. So see, these all are where I chopped it, and it was just completely chopped. There was nothing. It was just these little things.
Hmm.
Um, and all of this, it took a really long time to get there, but it finally put out all that growth. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ZZ. And now there's like the variegated ZZs and the chameleon ZZs. And we have 2 cuttings of variegated that are um currently we're hoping to whoops. Thank you, Jules. Jules took my seat to kick him off. Um, but yeah, and uh they're hopefully gonna root for us. So but it's fun. It's just fun to see how this plant that was very kind of, I think it got kind of disregarded for a while, has just seen this resurgence, and now there's all these different types of ZZs. They're such a neat plant. They really are. If anyone here doesn't have one, it's a lot of fun. You can start them by cuttings. Here we go. So I had shown this like a week or two ago, but look at those roots. You can start them by cutting just like that. So if maybe a friend of yours has one, you want to try it out. And they form these little rhizomes. So when I found the cutting, it was just 2 leaves in this little petiole, like the little stem. That was it. It created that bulb, and then from that bulb, all the roots came in, and all I did was plop it in there and make sure that the water level is just touching that stem. And I've
Yeah.
had it under the grow light, and that's all I've been having to do. And it's grown so wonderfully. You can see the root hairs on those. You
Yeah.
can see that they look. Oh, the camera doesn't really do it justice, but
Oh,
oh,
you
there
can
we
see it.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see like the root hairs on the periphery of those roots. Uh, and they work. They grow really great. So you can make a little army, army of ZZ.
Well, Jocelyn, so when you go to plant it in soil, do you cover the rhizome or just the roots?
Yes, so you do cover the rhizome. Just you don't want to make it really deep. So you just want the soil just to cover the rhizome.
Okay.
So that's a big mistake that people like really kind of shove it in there.
Yeah.
And then they cover it so that the stalk is like this much, under the soil. And that's
Mhm.
where you'll start to have problems because the base of
Okay.
that stalk will start to rot. So sometimes, what's great about having a plant with a rhizome is sometimes when that the vegetative kind of like the stem part of it, if that starts to rot, sometimes the rhizome is still fine. So even if you saw, oh man, the stem started rotting, you can cut it and the kind of rhizome will start over. So it'll just push out more growth. Um, the problem is if the rhizome starts to rot, then you're in trouble.
Mhm.
You lost it. But yes, you want to slightly cover them and yeah, make sure that they are completely dry before watering. So my Raven ZZ, I water her once a month.
Oh.
Once a month. The Zenzi about every 3 weeks.
Mm.
So, and I've let her go a month. I've totally let her go a month. So, yeah, they require a lot less water, than let's say like a philodendron or some. And even though they're in the aroid family, they're in the same family. Um, I just, oh, someone just private message. Yeah, that's a shark. So I was like, what?
I was wondering what that was too. It looks like one of those walking catfish.
Yeah, I know. This was on my closet door, and I was actually talking to the accountant from HWB, and he was talking about taxidermy or something like that. So I had taken it off my closet to show him, and then I ended up putting it on our bedroom door because there's a hook. And I put it there in the meantime until I put it back on the closet. But yeah, no, this is a sand shark. The sand shark, I believe it's a sand shark. I got it off Facebook Marketplace for $20. It's a real shark that was taxidermied, and it was a woman. Her mom had passed away, and she was selling all of her stuff. And she told me that a little history on it that basically her mom had gone to Thailand and had spent some years like there kind of abroad and had bought this at a marketplace in the 80s and brought it back, and it's been in their family, and she was not feeling it. So she did not think it fit her decor, and she figured, someone else would appreciate it, and I saw it and I definitely appreciated it. So
That's pretty
so
cool.
I ended up getting it. But yeah, they're it's hard to see, but their skin, it's like sandpaper. So you don't want to go opposite. If I go opposite, my finger literally gets stuck. Like, so
Wow.
I've heard that people get like cuts when they're touching sharks. And it's true because you want to touch them this way. If you touch them backwards, like literally my finger starts to get stuck uh because like all the scales are going this way and they're very sharp. Or is it scales? I don't know. I don't know if they're technically scales because I know sharks are cartilage, but I don't know if this top part counts as scales or not. Or is this cartilage too? I don't know. But yeah, it's like I don't know if the mic, yeah, the mic will pick that up, but it's super sharp like sandpaper. But yes, That's what this thing in the background is.
Well,
Yes,
they did a good taxidermy job.
they really
Safety and
did.
everything is really good. Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely. They did a really, really good job. Um, it's it's beautiful. Yeah, they did a really, really good job. So I'm happy to have it. I always see these types of things and I go, that'd be fun for students. Brian's like, what? I have a few taxidermy pieces. I have a taxidermy caiman in storage. Um that one I got when I was like 19, 20. And it was a gift and it's a taxidermy caiman. And it's about like 3 feet. It's about 3 feet long. Um, I've never displayed it here because I'm just afraid like the cats would mess with it. So, um, but yeah, because it's not one that I can mount on the wall. I would have to, I think, build something to mount it on the wall. It's just like kind of like flat, uh, caiman. So like a little, for folks that don't know, it's like a little crocodile, kind of thing. Um, so yeah, I have that in storage, and then yeah, and then I have a little duck. So I have a couple of taxidermy things. I do very much appreciate taxidermy, very much so. I hope that when we do upgrade and have a bigger home, and I do want to have, because we were talking about maybe finding a spot upstate with some land. I feel like I would want to have like a shed or like build a structure, or maybe repurpose like an old barn if there's one on the property, and kind of make it like the eco center, where I'll just put all my taxidermy and stuff like this, because this type of stuff, they won't let you ship it internationally. So it would have to be something like, because I have fossils, I have a whole collection of fossils, I have taxidermy, um, I have I have a lot of things that are no longer allowed to be shipped internationally. Um, so I would have to set it up, at least this stuff up. I'd have to set it up here because that's what I'd have to do. Barbara, um, from the split leaf fillet engine that they call monsteras, one big pot got fried in the same window it always thrived in. Yeah, that's been happening. We were talking about that. That the
Yeah.
sun, it looks like it's, yeah, a lot of folks like plants that they've had in the same window for years this summer just got obliterated. And oh, I need to hack it up. Sadly, I have always just directly planted pieces of the stem in soil or rooted in water. Any new advice? Yeah, no, that's a tried and true method. So, chopping them up, you can definitely start them in water. If you still have very healthy roots, so usually if the
Yeah.
plant gets burnt.
Yeah, the plant itself, I think in the stem looks very, very healthy, but every new leaf is, just getting brown. And I say sadly, because for a million years from back with my grandmothers, I mean, we are the plant crazy people. We hate to give up even a piece of stem, as you say, if it's rotting, we try again. But yeah, this is in same window, same location for 45 years. This we saved. The plant saves itself, but it regenerated it. What you told me, it was all getting too much. Never had. It got sunburned. It was all yellow. I never saw such a thing. I only know them to these also. I used to have flowers reblooming. But this one, regenerated and kind of cured itself. And there are some baby flowers. There's some baby buds in there, even though it's only whatever, October, November coming. But also just for fun, I had talked about, I took these in from outside. You have one. This one was always inside. These were outside, and one more is outside, and the squirrels started eating these tops as if they were apples. So these two are damaged, but they appear to be not in shock. The one I left outside, I would like to take it in, but I don't think I want the yellow part. Do you have an opinion? Did anyone ever, if I cut off the yellow graft, the cactus would be wide open, but is that something I could bring inside and try to save, try to grow? Or would I be killing this thing? I don't want to commit violence to a living thing, because that's us, because that is us, and you know it.
Yes. So
Yeah, that's
these,
exactly, yeah.
yes.
They were babies. They were tiny babies when I bought them, and I love them. I keep them. I always have them, and so do you.
Yeah, yeah. They call them moon cacti. These are fun. These are oddities. These are grafted cacti. So for folks, this is not how it naturally grows. These are actually two separate species of cacti. Um, and sometimes the base isn't even cacti. It might actually be a euphorbia. Um, but basically, it's two succulents. We could say it easier that way, that are fused through a method called grafting. And so they essentially, so this is considered a parasite. So this part is called a scion, but it really does kind of work as a parasite. And so what they do is that they cut it, they expose like the flesh, and then the same with sometimes there are like this is dragon fruit as a bottom, and they'll slice it and then they'll fuse them sometimes with glue. Sometimes they actually don't use glue, but they'll kind of like tie it until it kind of it really does literally graft together. It's like Frankensteining these plants. Um, and so yeah, it ends up um, growing this way. And what happens is that this plant on top, so like if it was, so this is a gymnocalycium, I believe. And so you find them in yellow and red, and they look really pretty, but they will not survive on their own, not in this color. So if you have a gymnocalycium, if you find one of these that has a lot of green, because sometimes they're like they have like that variegation. So this is an example of variegation. But this red variegation, it doesn't photosynthesize very well. So what ends up happening is that it requires for the root stock to supply all that energy. So it's the root stock that is photosynthesizing, that is creating the sugars that then feed the scion on top. So question, if are you able to remove the scion? Yes, you can remove the scion, and then the bottom part will keep growing, and it'll be dandy. It'll be happy. It'll have something less to do, less work to do. But the scion won't necessarily survive on its own. So again, if they have a lot of green on them, because they use so many different types for scions, this specific type, the gymnocalycium, I do not believe that it will survive on its own, like apart from the rootstock. This part probably won't survive. More than I'm like 99% sure that the top part won't survive. The bottom part will survive. I even have a little one in my bedroom where the top scion actually died. It shriveled up. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I took it off. And then the base started putting out a little arm, and it's been growing without issue, and it's totally happy. But the top part did not survive. So yeah, the bottom part can totally survive, but the
Okay,
top part not so much.
I'm gonna bring in the bottom because it looks totally great. And
Yeah.
I don't want that, but I'm showing you, I had taken off some babies when they were healthy from the top yellow. And was, if they get scabs on the bottom, they have every chance that they will grow themselves. There's about 6 of them in there. Also experiments. Some I buried and some I'm sticking out halfway to see, and I put in new cactus soil, dry mix. And I'll probably kill them with kindness, like overwater them, because I don't know. And we never give up. We try again just for fun
Try.
and for love. Yeah, but
Oh,
okay.
absolutely.
I'm gonna slice off then and take the green part. And if you said that it would still grow, because I don't,
Yeah,
I
the
would like
base
to.
will definitely grow.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
I would never do that to a plant. I am not Dr. Frankenstein, but since we buy them as they just are pretty things, right? Okay, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Oh,
actually,
also I
uh-huh.
have to put this back, but while I'm putting it back, we always had and always have some fingerlings growing.
Oh,
And this is, whoops. And just when I was ready, I'm cleaning out. I thought I'm throwing this guy away. Here is a potato. Here's two baby. Oh, and where's my hand? I'm sorry. Yeah, here is some tiny, tiny baby fingerlings that are just happening under there. And I was just about to think that I got everything out of this pot and it was done. Now I have to go rake it out and see if I can find. So I hope I didn't kill this because they have some roots. I hope there are a little more. And these guys are just other new potatoes that want to grow. And this is a sweet potato that wants to grow. So we
oh
go
yeah,
again. Oh, it's a half a sweet potato, but we want to go again, right? We try again.
exactly. Try and try again. Oh, absolutely. Oh, that is so neat. Yeah, growing potatoes, that's always fun. And I love how they end up just like, especially like I think with the sweet potatoes, you get all big vines and stuff.
I hope
Um
so.
yeah, they're super super neat. I love that. Every time I feel so bad. Every time, like if I forget my garlic and it starts to sprout, or I
Yeah,
forget like a
yeah.
potato and it
We
starts to
try
sprout.
again. We plunk it in. Yep.
Yes, I put it
Yes.
out front. I just like, we have some pots out front. And so I had a garden out front. I had a bunch of flower pots, and for years my mom had plants in there. I went on to have plants in there. I've lived in this building for 30 years. And the new tenant had come and moved in. It was during COVID because we were all wearing masks. Um, and he moved in during that time, and he took it upon himself. And I literally had a bunch of wildflower seed that I had planted in there. So I had just started taking pictures of some of the flowers that were finally blooming. And I mean, it did look very weedy because it was like wildflowers. It wasn't like I didn't have petunias or something in there. It was kind of like, let's see what grows kind of thing. And I was devastated. I also had a mulberry tree that I started from seed.
Oh,
Um, yeah, and he destroyed it. He destroyed it. And I had also a bunch of ginkgos that I started from seed, and which is very, even I think even more devastating because during that time the mother tree was dying. She is officially dead now. Brian actually sent me a picture uh yesterday. He was coming back from getting coffee, and let me raise my brightness a little bit. And one of her branches hit our neighbor's tree. So she is dead. She is dead dead.
Oh,
Like,
we hate
she's,
to hear that, right?
yeah,
Because
and
I have always done what you have always done.
no, yeah, right. And so it really hurts. Like, oh man, this tree has been around. Like, I moved in here when I was 5. Like, so it's always been here for me. So seeing her, die, that was really sad. And I'm really convinced that my neighbors killed her. Um, I've seen them like hanging around the tree, doing weird things. And when I was really taking a closer look, it looks like giant nails, like spikes, were put into her. So I think that they purposely killed her because ginkgos, if folks don't know, they produce fruit that it does smell very bad, and so it's some type of acid. I think it's butric acid, if I'm remembering correctly. It's some type of acid. It starts with a B, and it's very foul smelling. It smells like vomit. Honestly, it does have that smell, and it's supposed to ward off creatures from eating those seeds. Um, and those seeds are edible. You don't want to eat too much because it can't. That fruit is actually very toxic. And the seeds, although they are a delicacy, it's common that you only want to have about 6 at a time. Because if not, you can get, it's almost like food poisoning. It's very rough on the stomach. Um, but yeah, so I think that they just were sick of having to deal with that every fall. Oh, bye, Suzanne. Um, they were just sick of having to deal with that every fall, and so they
And
they ended up.
the fan shaped leaves are beautiful,
It's
but yeah. Yeah,
beautiful,
somebody told
beautiful.
me a long time ago, ginkgo rhymes with stinko.
Yes.
So They
Yes.
can't let it live, perhaps. I'm with you.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, and so I'm thinking that that's what ended up happening, but I had collected a bunch of those seeds and I had planted them in that garden and they were just sprouting. And so to have all of that like destroyed, I lost all those ginkgos and those were like her last lineage, before she like officially died. And so that definitely was equally, if not more devastating than losing that. And then he put in petunias and mums, never took care of them. They died and then now they're empty. So I go back and I put stuff in them all the time now and I'm like, "Really, dude? You got rid of all my stuff. You put in stuff, you don't take care of it." And it's literally back to being, weedy and empty pots again. Um so I don't know. I don't know why he decided to do that, uh, but yeah, I put stuff down there now again. So so I'll keep doing that. But thank you for sharing. That was neat. That was really, really neat.
Thank you. But he doesn't
And
know what you know.
Hey,
No.
No.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
coming from
sorry, I had to mute you, Holly. But yeah, I think I got oh, thanks for folks. Yeah, I was trying to like them, but for folks that were putting up recommendations on like acrylic gel or like a spray of fixative or things like that to try and paint these. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm absolutely gonna try to play around with a couple of these. I'd like to paint some of them to look like they did originally, especially because a lot of them they have this really beautiful, like the veining is really gorgeous on these plants. Um, so I would absolutely love to do so. Oh, there's something else in here that I'd like to show you, but trigger warning, it's not okay. Thank you, Maple. He was trying to hop up on me. So spiders, including tarantulas, they shed their skin. So trigger warning. This is shed skin. This is not a live tarantula. This is not, this wasn't a living thing. This is a skin of a thing. So it's like the tarantula took off its sweater. Um, so think of it. So if you're scared of spiders, look away for a second. Um, but this is a tarantula. So we have tarantulas, and one of our tarantulas had shed her skin. So I like to collect their molts. They're very furry. It literally feels like the tarantula itself. Um, this is the abdomen cap here. And let me see. You can really don't see. Let me see if I can actually get with the flashlight. Whoops, flashlight. Haha. You can see her fangs. So see that those fangs right. Look at the size of those fangs. Oh my god. Yes, I've never been bit by any of my tarantulas. I would not want to be bit by any of my tarantulas. They are very happy, so they've never bit us. And we've raised them. But oh man, I love it. I love it. I love all that stuff. Maple, look at this. Look at this. He has literally dropped so many of these plants because he's decided that he needs to climb up here. And I don't know why this has become a new obsession with him these last few weeks. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate it though. I do appreciate it. It's just it's not very good timing. But thank you so much, everyone. Oh, Deanna, you too. Yes, have a great Halloween. Um, I think next week it's gonna be the 30th, I think. I think it's gonna be the 30th. Um, yeah, maybe I'll do a class then um on like a weird plants. So I have like the grafted cacti. I can talk about like monstrose and um so some mutated cacti and some like monstrose cacti and stuff like that. So I'll do a little bit of that next week. But but thanks. I gotta keep in theme. Keep in theme. Oh, and I have a good example of a zombie plant. I have a very good example of a zombie plant. So I'll do a little Halloween class next Monday. But thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Cynth. Yeah, thank you so much. No worries. You made it. You made it. So thanks so much, everyone, for hopping on. It's always a fun discussion, and yeah, I look forward to connecting again next week. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, the rest of your week. So please stay safe, everyone, and yeah, have a
Okay,
great
you
one.
too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jocelyn. See
Bye.
you.
See you.